Here's a sobering thought. 70, maybe 80% of AI implementation strategies, well, they fail. And surprisingly, it's usually not because of the technology itself.
Yeah.
No, it's deeper barriers, invisible ones. It really is a battle fought with people.
Welcome to the deep dive. Yeah, today we're really unpacking a kind of blueprint for actually winning the AI transformation. We're going to dive into why most efforts stall out, look at these different employee avatars we'll probably run into, and lay out a clear, practical 90-day plan. The goal, make AI actually work for you. Get ready for some serious insights here.
Okay, so our mission for you in this deep dive, we're not just talking about the problem today. We're charting a path, really, a proven path from potential AI failure to actually becoming an AI-driven leader. And the key, understanding that human equation first. You'll discover how to transform your workplace, without breaking the bank, but also, critically, without crushing morale. We often assume, don't we, that going AI first just means buying the newest tools. It feels like the obvious step, beat. But the sources we're looking at today, they reveal a pretty fundamental flaw in that thinking. What are we really missing when we just focus on the tech stack?
Exactly. Leadership often thinks, oh, it's just about expensive tools, API keys. Maybe send out a few YouTube tutorials and hope for the best. Soft laugh. But that completely misses the real challenge, right? It's the psychological stuff, the cultural resistance. No tutorial fixes that. It's a much deeper human thing.
So the companies that are succeeding, the ones getting traction, they get this deeper truth. They seem to focus first on helping just one person, maybe one small team or department use AI well. Generate some actual business value first. And then, and this feels important, they let that success ripple out. It creates its own momentum.
Yeah, the source points to several, pretty complex issues blocking adoption, like a lack of a really clear vision from the top, vague goals like, increase efficiency. They just aren't compelling. They don't inspire people to change how they work. Leaders need to paint a much clearer picture, something genuinely inspiring about where this is all going.
And then you've got the really big one.
Yeah.
Fear. Insecurity.
Yeah.
People genuinely worry about being replaced. We saw one study, actually, that found in companies with unclear AI plans, something like over 60% of employees felt moderate to high anxiety about their jobs. That kind of fear, it just slams the brakes on adoption, puts everyone on the defensive, makes them resist, almost instinctively.
Skill gaps, too. That's another huge piece. Giving someone a powerful tool without proper structured training. It's like handing a carpenter, a sophisticated CNC machine with zero instructions. It just leads to frustration and waste. People need to feel capable, not just equipped.
Plus the old systems, right? Legacy tech. It often just doesn't play nicely with modern AI tools, those technical headaches. They can discourage even the most enthusiastic people. And finally, maybe the most corrosive, a culture of blame. If trying something new with AI and failing gets punished, well, innovation just stops dead. Fear of failure is paralyzing.
So the key, it seems, isn't some massive top-down revolution. It's more about a series of these small, compelling wins. Like one company we read about started by automating just one tedious data entry task for one team. It saved maybe 5 hours a week per person. Tiny, right? But that small win became this powerful internal story, way more convincing than any mandate from on high.
Hearing all this, the psychology, the culture, the fear, it really does sound like the tech itself is almost secondary now. Is that pushing it too far, or do the sources really lean that heavily on the human side?
No, not too strong at all. Success overwhelmingly hinges on the people and the culture. The tools are necessary, but they're not sufficient. Okay, so here's where it gets really, really interesting. Through experience, it seems 7 distinct employee archetypes, or avatars, tend to emerge during an AI transition. Understanding these is crucial because, well, each one needs a totally different approach. You can't treat them all the same.
But let's unpack these avatars. First up, the secret ninja. These are the folks already using tools like ChatGPT, maybe Claude, but they're doing it on the down low, quietly. Maybe their company culture accidentally makes using AI feel like cheating. So they cover their tracks, clear their browser history, that kind of thing.
Yeah, with these people, you don't try to change them. You invest in them. Give them the freedom to lead, maybe even become champions. You got to remove that stigma that makes them hide. They're actually your best advocates. They already know what works. They can show others. You need to create a space, a stage for them to share what they know. Let them shine.
Okay, so find the ninjas, empower them. But what about the folks who did try AI, maybe back when the tools weren't as good, and just wrote it off? That sounds like the burned skeptic.
Absolutely. This is someone who maybe tried, ChatGPT back in early 2023, put in a really basic prompt like, write a sales email. Got a generic kind of useless result and just concluded, AI is useless hype. They're stuck on that first bad experience. For them, you have to show, not just tell. Demonstrate the stark difference with today's models. Like, compare image generation from 2 years ago to now. It's night and day. That kind of clear, irrefutable proof can sometimes break through that initial prejudice.
Then there's the terrified replaceable. These employees are maybe Googling jobs AI can't replace every week. They're genuinely anxious. They tend to downplay any AI success stories they hear. They might even resist documenting their own processes because they see it as like digging their own grave. That's a really deep fear.
Vulnerable admission. You know, I gotta admit, I still sometimes wrestle with feeling overwhelmed by just the sheer number of options myself, so I get that feeling. For these folks, the focus absolutely has to be on augmentation, not replacement. Show them how AI makes them superhuman. Show how it gets rid of the tedious admin tasks they hate, the stuff that bogs them down. Let them focus on higher value work. They actually become more indispensable, not less. The message has to be, this makes your job better, not makes it disappear.
Okay, next up, the overwhelmed overthinker. They're not necessarily against AI, but they're just paralyzed by the hundreds of tools, the endless options. They might have this go big or go home mindset, which with AI is just incredibly daunting. They get stuck analyzing everything, never actually starting.
Yeah, for them, give them one specific area to focus on. Encourage them to go deep on just that one thing. Don't say, learn everything about AI. Say something like, hey, why don't you really explore what Replit can do? Push its limits. That focused approach helps them get past feeling overwhelmed. It lets them build confidence with a clear, contained win.
Then we have the dinosaur, I've done it this way for 30 years without AI, why change now person. And this isn't really about age, it's a mindset, right? They know learning something new will slow them down at first, and they just don't want that disruption. I mean, we all have that one task we hate, don't we? For me, it used to be sorting hundreds of email attachments. If someone had just offered a 5-minute fix for that, AI or not, I'd have been all over it.
Exactly. Don't argue the theoretical benefits of AI with them. Find that one task they truly hate doing, something that eats up hours every week. Then, just automate it for them. Show them the 5-minute solution versus their current method. Most logical people, when faced with doing 2 hours of boring admin versus 7 hours, they'll choose the 2 hours, especially if it's work that offers zero personal satisfaction.
The eager disaster. Oh, I think I know this type. They want to use AI for absolutely everything, even when it makes no sense. They might generate tons of content, maybe emails or reports, but it's unvetted, potentially inaccurate. It could actually cause problems. Enthusiasm without knowledge, like a runaway horse.
Yeah, you got to channel that energy. They've got the right spirit, just not the direction. Provide structured training, really clear guidelines, and some firm guardrails on where and how to use AI appropriately. It's about turning that whirlwind of enthusiasm into a purposeful current, like directing a powerful river to generate hydropower instead of just flooding everything.
And finally, the compliance warrior. This person is laser-focused on regulations, rules, security, which can be totally reasonable and necessary, especially around security, or it can tip into paralyzing overcaution that stops any AI experimentation before it starts.
You absolutely have to take them seriously, especially if you're in a regulated industry like finance or healthcare. Address IPPA, GDPR, whatever applies right up front, get that sorted. But you also need to watch out for situations where maybe compliance concerns are being used to mask other forms of resistance. That can create these multiple layers of roadblocks, making progress feel like wading through quicksand. So thinking about all these different types, these diverse mindsets in one organization, what's the fundamental shift in approach needed to actually start changing minds effectively across the board?
It really boils down to tailoring your approach.
Yeah.
You have to understand each person's unique perspective first. That's key. Okay, so once you've kind of navigated this complex human landscape, the next step is practical. It's about the tools.
Yeah.
But focusing on tools that deliver immediate, visible value. Tools that can almost sell themselves to the skeptics because they just work. They provide that tangible proof.
Right. And the guide suggests a kind of core trio for getting those quick wins. First, choose one main language model platform. So pick ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, for example, but stick with one. Don't have people jumping between all of them. Mastering one tool deeply actually brings much better results, a deeper understanding than just having a superficial grasp of many. It's about building real expertise.
Second, add one no-code building tool, something like Replit was mentioned. This lets people see the magic happen, right? That's drag and drop nature, the instant deployment. They can take an idea and turn it into a working app in like 10 or 15 minutes. That creates those aha moments, those moments that really convert skeptics by showing the creative power, not just the chat function.
And third, master one automation platform. So we're talking tools like N8N, Make, maybe Zapier. Pick the one that fits your organization's needs, cost, integrations, complexity, and then commit to it. Use it for at least a full year. Moment of wonder.
Yeah.
But automation, that's where the value of AI gets multiplied massively. Whoa, just imagine freeing up thousands, maybe tens of thousands of human hours from repetitive, boring tasks. That's giving people back a significant chunk of their work life.
And for those in regulated industries, security is obviously paramount. The source mentioned several options there. Things like the enterprise tiers from providers, ChatGPT Teams or Cloud for Enterprise. They guarantee your data isn't used for training. Or using cloud services like Amazon Bedrock or Azure AI, even on-premise solutions with open source models for complete control. You can even build custom interfaces to manage data flows securely. So there are ways to do this safely. Given all those choices, though, what's the core principle? What's the best way to think about choosing these initial tools to really maximize impact and get people on board?
It's depth over breadth, really. Pick one tool in each category language, no code, automation, and master it for genuinely better results. Sponsor.
All right, let's dive a bit deeper now. This next part really puts AI adoption into a helpful perspective. Think of it like an iceberg. Most of what actually determines success or failure, it's hidden below the surface.
Yeah, that's the 7-2-2010 framework. 70%, the vast majority, is leadership and culture. This is where most of the friction happens, where the biggest roadblocks are. Success really hinges on genuine commitment from the top, clear communication about the why, and crucially, creating a psychologically safe culture where people feel okay experimenting, even failing sometimes. If you don't get this massive chunk right, honestly, the rest barely matters.
Okay, 70% is culture, then 20% is infrastructure. This covers your existing tech stack, making sure you have clean, usable data, which is often a huge challenge in itself, and the ability to actually integrate these new AI tools smoothly. The complexity here can really vary depending on what systems you already have and, frankly, how well they've been looked after over the years.
At only 10%. That's the tools themselves, the AI models, the platforms. And this is actually the easiest part now, partly because the barrier to entry for really powerful AI tools has dropped so much. Selection becomes more about finding the right fit and ensuring easy integration rather than some massive technical hurdle. The advice is don't just chase the newest, shiniest object. Choose stable, suitable tools that have good support, good communities around them.
And when it comes to tracking progress, it's not enough just to see if people are using the AI tools, right? We need actual before and after metrics. Things like measuring the manual work hours saved on specific tasks. Tracking if there's an increase in, say, new ideas or creative solutions coming from teams. Looking for maybe a 10x increase in an individual's output or productivity. But critically, without them having to work longer hours, it has to be about real, quantifiable impact.
Absolutely. The ultimate goal here isn't just tool adoption. It's transforming regular employees into AI-augmented performers. It's about taking something that used to take 3 weeks and enabling someone to do it in 3 hours. It really is about working smarter, leveraging the tools, not just working harder.
Turning 3 weeks into 3 hours, I mean, that's a staggering leap. For listeners, what's one of the most surprising examples you came across in the sources? An example of someone becoming AI augmented in such a dramatic way.
That's a great question. There was one case study about a marketing manager. They used to spend days drafting campaign copy, analyzing social media trends, pulling reports, just swamped. With the right AI tools and training, they managed to automate most of the trend analysis, generate pretty good first drafts of copy instantly, and even get optimized ad spend suggestions all within hours. They basically shifted from pure execution grunt work to high-level strategy and creative oversight that they became like a super manager almost. But this kind of transformation, it requires a clear AI manifesto from leadership. Forget vague goals like, let's be more efficient. Those just scare people. Be specific. Something like, our goal is for everyone to automate 10-20% of their admin tasks in the next 6 months. And the company is committed to providing the training to help you achieve that. That kind of clarity reduces fear and really increases buy-in.
Right, a good manifesto needs to cover the vision, how AI will be used to kill tedious work and boost creativity. The commitment explicitly stating AI is for augmentation, not replacement, and that the company will invest in reskilling. And the principles, things like data security being paramount, ensuring human oversight for critical decisions, committing to ethical use. It's like laying out the constitution for your AI journey.
And the training itself needs structure. The sources suggest 3 distinct tracks. First, a fundamentals track for literally everyone, 100% of employees. Just the basics. How to log in, basic prompting, security awareness. Then, a power user track for those who are keen, the volunteers. This would cover more advanced prompting techniques, maybe simple automation building. And finally, a smaller AI builder track. This is for a select group. We'll dive deep into APIs, no-code, low-code tools, building custom apps quickly. They become your internal innovation engine, your rapid prototyping team, essentially.
And for incentives, the message is clear. Carrots, not sticks. Always. Think internal hackathons with actual prizes people want. Maybe creating clear career paths where AI skills lead to advancement. Recognition programs celebrating teams or individuals who find innovative AI solutions. Even just giving people dedicated innovation time, a few hours a week to just explore AI tools relevant to their role. Mandates. They just build resentment, almost guaranteed. So putting it all together, it really isn't just about the tech, is it? Leadership and culture are truly the foundation. It almost feels like an inverted pyramid. The base is human, not digital.
Precisely. That's 70% culture and leadership. That's the bedrock of a successful transformation. Get that wrong, and the whole thing crumbles.
Okay, so this deep dive wraps up with a pretty systematic 90-day plan. It breaks down into 3 clear phases, offering a practical roadmap.
Yeah. Phase 1 is days 130, discovery and amnesty. So in the first couple of weeks, you announce an AI amnesty program. Basically, no punishment for experimenting with AI, maybe using company resources, as long as security protocols are followed, like proper logging. This is how you coax those secret ninjas out of the woodwork, get their hidden expertise out in the open. You also run surveys during this time to map out who the different avatars are and identify those really time-consuming tasks ripe for automation.
Okay, then weeks 3-4. Based on those survey results, you select your core tool stack, that language model, no-code tool, automation platform. And you establish really clear security protocols and issue guidelines for safe, responsible AI usage. It's about creating that safe sandbox for people to start exploring it.
Then comes phase 2, days 30-60, learning and legitimization. Weeks 5-6 are all about creating those aha moments. You run champion showcases where your early adopters, maybe those ninjas, share exactly how they used AI to solve a specific, measurable problem. Show, don't just tell. You also organize hands-on workshops focused on solving real-world departmental problems, making it practical, turning theory into immediate application.
Weeks 7-8 shift focus to peer learning. Host AI hours, maybe informal lunch and learns, where employees teach each other tips and tricks. It builds community and is often more effective than just top-down training. And managers should be having one-on-one chats with the skeptics, the burned skeptics or terrified replaceables, to really listen to their concerns and address them directly. Building trust is crucial here.
And finally, phase 3, days 60-90, scaling and systematization. Wins 9-10 are where you set concrete targets. Goals like save 20 hours per person per week in Department X, or reduce customer response time by 50% using AI tools. You audit all those tedious admin tasks identified earlier and make a clear plan to automate them. This is where strategy starts delivering measurable results.
Weeks 11-12. Time to actually build those automation pipelines using your chosen platform. And critically, measure the outcomes, the business results, the time saved, the value created, not just how many people logged into the tool. And you need to create a feedback loop for continuous improvement. See what's working, what's not, and adjust the processes. It's a living system. It needs to keep evolving.
And it's important to remember the real win here isn't necessarily getting 100% adoption in 90 days. That's probably unrealistic. Success is getting the majority of people open to learning, willing to try enhancing themselves with AI. If people are giving it a shot and you're starting to see real productivity gains, that is success. It's definitely a marathon, not a sprint, but these first 90 days set the pace and direction.
It feels like the hyper-exponential AI growth that everyone was talking about maybe hasn't quite materialized in the way predicted. And maybe that's okay. It suggests there's still time, ample time really, for humans and AI to figure out how to work together effectively in this hybrid model. The key seems to be positioning AI as a tool for promotion, for making work better, not just a threat.
So if an organization listening wants to start this journey tomorrow, what's the absolute most critical first step they should take? What's the one thing to prioritize above all else?
Launch that AI amnesty. Use it to surface your hidden experts and, just as importantly, to clearly identify the immediate needs and pains across the organization.
So wrapping this up, we've really seen that genuine AI transformation. It's less about the technology than we might think. It is fundamentally a human challenge. That feels like the core insight.
Yeah, addressing those psychological barriers, the cultural resistance that's paramount, and those small, compelling wins. When they're shared effectively, that's what truly builds momentum and belief inside a company.
And having a systematic plan, like that 90-day roadmap, it empowers everyone. It provides a structure to move people, even skeptics, toward becoming champions, step by step.
This framework isn't just abstract theory either. It sounds like it's a battle-tested approach. It helps organizations genuinely become AI first, but in a way that doesn't break the budget or, crucially, destroy employee morale. It's about a sustainable, human-centric shift.
So for you listening, the next step, maybe start by trying to identify those avatars within your own team or organization. Who are your ninjas, your skeptics? Choose your core tools carefully, depth over breadth. Launch an AI amnesty program, see who comes forward. Focus on augmenting your top performers first. Let their success stories do the selling internally. And always, always use carrots, not sticks. It has to be about empowerment, not enforcement.
The companies that master this human-centric approach to AI, they won't just survive what's coming. They'll likely lead it, shaping the future of work for everyone else.
Yeah, the question really isn't if AI will transform your industry anymore. It's pretty clear it will. The real question is whether you will be the one doing the transforming or the one being transformed. It's a strategic choice, really.
Well, we hope this deep dive has given you some valuable perspective, maybe some practical ideas to mull over. Thanks for joining us.
Until next time, keep digging deeper.